Hello, friend. Welcome to Science for Sleep. Tonight, we'll be exploring something vast and quietly powerful. Something that has existed long before any human thought about looking up. A black hole that is closer to us than most people realize. It is the black hole closest to home. There is something about that idea that naturally stirs curiosity. A black hole nearby. Immense mass. Extraordinary influence. Not in a dramatic sense, not as a threat, but as a presence. Black holes often live in the imagination as violent objects, endlessly consuming everything around them. But in reality, most black holes are defined less by action and more by stability. They are structures. They are regions of space where mass has settled into an extreme, long-lasting form. Tonight, we're focusing on one in particular. It is known as Sagittarius A star, often shortened simply to Sagittarius A. Sagittarius A is a supermassive black hole located at the very center of the Milky Way galaxy. It is not drifting through space. It is not approaching us. It has remained in roughly the same place for an extraordinary length of time, acting as a quiet center around which our galaxy slowly turns. Sagittarius A is approximately 26,000 light-years away from Earth. That distance is difficult to picture, but it represents an enormous separation. Light itself takes about 26,000 years to travel from that region of space to where we are now. What we know of Sagittarius A is already ancient by the time it reaches us. Despite its immense mass, Sagittarius A is remarkably calm. It does not blaze with constant radiation. It is not actively pulling stars inward. On human timescales, it appears almost still. Its mass, however, is extraordinary. Sagittarius A contains roughly 4 million times the mass of our Sun, concentrated into a region smaller than our solar system. That mass shapes the motion of stars near the center of the galaxy, guiding their paths into smooth, predictable orbits. Those stars move slowly, patiently. Some of them take many years just to complete a single loop around the galactic center. Their motion is not rushed. It is governed by balance rather than force. This is one of the quiet truths about black holes that often goes unspoken. Outside of their immediate boundaries, gravity behaves normally. Objects orbit Sagittarius A in much the same way planets orbit stars. Order emerges not from attraction alone, but from stability. If you enjoy these quiet journeys, you're welcome to subscribe. And if it feels natural, to leave a comment sharing where you're listening from tonight. It helps others find their way to this calm corner of the world, one sleepy traveler at a time. The quiet continues here, just as it is. Sagittarius A has been part of the Milky Way for billions of years. Long before Earth formed, long before the Sun began its slow orbit around the galactic center. Its presence has never interrupted daily life here. It does not influence the tides, the seasons, or the rhythm of days. What it does offer is perspective. At the center of our galaxy exists something immensely powerful, yet profoundly quiet. A structure defined not by destruction, but by persistence, by balance, by time moving at a pace far slower than anything we experience. As the Milky Way continues its slow rotation, Sagittarius A remains where it has always been. A steady center, unconcerned with observation, unchanged by attention. There is no urgency here, no approach, no unfolding event, only a vast system continuing as it always has. I'm glad you're here. Names have a way of shaping how something feels in the mind. Some names arrive heavy with syllables and symbols, carrying a sense of complexity before anything is understood. Others soften with repetition, becoming familiar through use rather than explanation. The name Sagittarius A star began as a precise label. It was assigned to a bright radio source detected in the direction of the Sagittarius constellation, where astronomers first noticed unusual signals coming from the center of the Milky Way. The name itself reflects location rather than drama, pointing to where it appears in the sky rather than what it is. Over time, as understanding grew, the name naturally shortened. Sagittarius A became the way scientists referred to it in conversation, in writing, and in quiet observation. The meaning remained the same, but the sound changed. Less technical, less crowded. This kind of simplification is common in astronomy. As objects move from discovery into familiarity, their names often become easier to hold. Complex designations give way to shorter forms, not because the object has changed, but because our relationship to it has. Sagittarius A did not become smaller when its name softened. Its mass did not lessen. Its position did not shift. Only the way we speak about it became calmer. At the center of the Milky Way, Sagittarius A remains exactly what it has always been. A supermassive black hole anchoring the galaxy's inner motion. Stars continue to trace their long paths around it, responding to gravity in smooth, predictable arcs. These stars do not rush. Some take decades to complete a single orbit. Others move even more slowly, their paths revealed only through patient measurement across many years. By watching these motions, astronomers were able to confirm the presence of Sagittarius A long before any image existed. This was one of the clearest pieces of evidence. Invisible mass revealing itself through orderly movement. Nothing chaotic, nothing sudden. The shortening of the name mirrors this reality. Sagittarius A is not something that needs constant emphasis. It does not demand attention through brightness or violence. It exists as a stable reference point, quietly shaping the space around it. Language tends to follow function. When something becomes part of the background structure of understanding, its name no longer needs to carry explanation within it. It becomes a marker rather than a message. In this way, Sagittarius A fits comfortably into the rhythm of the galaxy itself. Present, unchanging on human timescales, neither advancing nor retreating. Outside of its immediate boundary, gravity behaves just as it does everywhere else. Stars orbit because balance exists between motion and mass. There is no hidden force drawing everything inward beyond what physics already describes. This calm behavior is one reason Sagittarius A is described as relatively inactive. Compared to black holes in other galaxies, it emits very little radiation. It is not surrounded by a bright disk of superheated material. Its surroundings remain comparatively quiet. That quiet extends to how it is spoken about. Sagittarius A becomes a name that rests easily in the sentence. It does not interrupt the flow. It does not require constant clarification. As the galaxy turns, and as the sun continues its own slow journey around the center, Sagittarius A remains a fixed point of reference. Not a destination, not a warning, simply a center. The name settles because the object itself does not move toward us. It does not change its role. It continues doing what it has done for billions of years, holding space, shaping motion, remaining. From a distance, the Milky Way appears as a soft band of light stretching across the sky, a quiet river of stars, dust, and faint glow. But within that gentle arc exists a structure far larger and more organized than it first appears. The Milky Way is a barred spiral galaxy. Its shape is not random. It has arms that curve outward, lanes of dust that wind slowly, and a dense central region where stars grow closer together. Everything in the galaxy participates in this shared motion, moving along paths shaped by gravity and time. Near the center of this structure, the light grows thicker. Stars crowd closer. Dust becomes denser. The space between objects narrows, not suddenly, but gradually, as if the galaxy itself is gently folding inward. This region is known as the galactic center. Sagittarius A exists there. It is not located at a sharp point or a visible marker. There is no signpost in space announcing its position. Instead, its location is inferred through motion, through the way stars behave as they pass through this crowded inner region of the Milky Way. Stars near the galactic center do not drift aimlessly. They follow curved paths, looping and turning in ways that reveal the presence of immense mass. By tracing these motions carefully over time, astronomers were able to identify where that mass must be concentrated. That location corresponds to Sagittarius A. It sits near the gravitational center of the galaxy, where the combined pull of matter balances the motion of billions of stars. This does not mean that everything collapses inward. Instead, it means that motion becomes organized around a shared center, much like planets orbit a star or moons orbit a planet. The galactic center is not a place of constant chaos. It is busy, but it is not frantic. Stars move quickly there compared to those farther out, yet their paths remain smooth and predictable. Even in the densest regions, gravity produces order rather than disorder. The Milky Way contains hundreds of billions of stars. Each one follows a path shaped by the mass around it. Over immense spans of time, these paths create the familiar spiral structure we observe from within. Sagittarius A plays a central role in this organization, not through dramatic action, but through persistence. Its mass contributes to the overall gravitational balance of the inner galaxy. It acts as a reference point around which motion settles. Despite its importance, Sagittarius A is hidden from direct view. Between Earth and the galactic center lies a thick veil of dust and gas. Visible light cannot easily pass through this material, making the center of the galaxy appear obscured when viewed with ordinary telescopes. This obscuration once led to uncertainty. For a long time, the exact nature of the galactic center remained unknown. Only with the use of infrared and radio observations did the picture begin to clarify. Infrared light can pass through dust more effectively than visible light. Radio waves pass through even more freely. By observing the galactic center in these wavelengths, astronomers were able to map the movement of stars and gas with increasing precision. What they found was not turbulence, but coherence. Stars near Sagittarius move in tight, fast orbits. Some complete their paths in a matter of years or decades. Their motion traces invisible curves, revealing the shape of gravity itself. These observations showed that the mass at the center of the Milky Way is both extremely concentrated and remarkably stable. There was no evidence of rapid growth or violent disruption. Instead, the system appeared long settled, shaped over billions of years. From our position within the galaxy, we orbit Sagittarius A as well. The Sun follows a broad circular path around the galactic center, taking roughly 225 million years to complete a single orbit. Every star visible in the night sky participates in a similar journey, each at its own distance and speed. This shared motion is slow, so slow that it feels motionless from within. Generations rise and pass without perceiving any change in direction or position. The galactic center does not loom. It does not approach. It remains where it has always been, serving as the quiet core of a vast rotating system. Understanding where Sagittarius A exists helps reframe how it is perceived. It is not an isolated object wandering through space. It is embedded within a structured environment, surrounded by stars that have adapted to its presence over cosmic time. Nothing about its location suggests immediacy or threat. Distance provides separation. Scale provides context. The center of the Milky Way is not something we move toward in any practical sense. It is something we move around, along with everything else in the galaxy. A shared center, not a destination. From this perspective, Sagittarius A becomes less mysterious and more foundational. Not an anomaly, but a structural element. Not a disturbance, but a stabilizing influence within a long-lived system. The galaxy turns, the stars continue their paths, and at the center, Sagittarius A remains, shaping motion without announcing itself, holding its place within a pattern that has endured far longer than human memory. Distance in space behaves differently than distance on Earth. Here, distance is not measured in steps or hours, but in light. In how long it takes information to travel, in how long a signal continues before it is ever received. Sagittarius A is approximately 26,000 light-years away from Earth. That number can be stated easily, but its meaning unfolds slowly. A light-year is the distance light travels in 1 year, moving at its constant speed through empty space. To say that Sagittarius A is 26,000 light-years away is to say that every image, every signal, every trace of information we receive from that region has been traveling for 26,000 years before arriving here. What we observe today began its journey long before recorded history, long before the first cities, long before written language, long before the current shape of continents. This distance is not merely spatial, it is temporal. When we look toward the center of the Milky Way, we are not seeing it as it is now. We are seeing it as it was tens of thousands of years ago. Time and distance overlap completely in space, turning observation into a form of quiet archaeology. Despite this, Sagittarius A is often described as close in astronomical terms. That description can sound surprising at first. Close, when measured against the size of the galaxy itself, does not imply proximity in any human sense. It simply reflects that Sagittarius A is part of the same galactic structure we inhabit. The Milky Way spans roughly 100,000 light-years from edge to edge. In that context, 26,000 light-years places Sagittarius A well within the inner region of the galaxy, not near its outer rim. It is closer than most other galactic centers we can study, which often lie millions of light-years away in distant galaxies. This relative closeness is what allows detailed observation, not because Sagittarius A is near enough to affect us, but because it is near enough for patient measurement. Distance acts as a natural buffer. Gravity weakens rapidly with space. At 26,000 light-years away, the gravitational influence of Sagittarius A on Earth is effectively non-existent. The Sun's gravity dominates our local environment. The planets respond to the Sun. The Moon responds to Earth. Sagittarius A does not reach across the galaxy to pull on individual stars at random. Its influence is localized to the inner regions, where stars orbit at distances measured in light days or light years, not tens of thousands of them. This separation ensures stability. The idea of distance often carries emotional weight. On Earth, distance can imply absence or separation. In space, distance implies safety, predictability, and time to adjust. Systems evolve slowly when distances are vast. Even dramatic cosmic events lose urgency when spread across light years. Energy dissipates. Motion smooths out. Change becomes gradual. Sagittarius A exemplifies this principle. Its mass is enormous, but its reach is limited. Its presence is constant, but its effects diminish quickly with space. From Earth, nothing about Sagittarius A changes our daily rhythms. Days continue. Seasons shift. The night sky appears steady. This constancy exists because of distance. When astronomers describe Sagittarius A as the closest supermassive black hole, they are speaking within the language of cosmic scale. Among billions of galaxies, each with its own center, this one happens to be ours. That connection is structural, not threatening. Distance also shapes how information arrives. Signals from the galactic center are faint. They must be collected slowly, carefully, over long periods of time. There is no rush because nothing changes quickly at that scale. Radio waves drift outward. Infrared light filters through dust. Each observation is the result of accumulation rather than immediacy. This slow arrival reinforces the sense of calm. Nothing sudden can occur without long notice. Any meaningful change at the center of the galaxy would take tens of thousands of years to reach us. Distance grants perspective. It allows Sagittarius A to exist as a concept rather than a presence, as a structure rather than an event, as something that can be studied without urgency. In this way, distance does not create separation. It creates space. Space for systems to settle. Space for motion to smooth. Space for understanding to develop gradually. The vast gap between Earth and Sagittarius A ensures that the galaxy functions as a layered system. Local environments respond to local forces. Larger structures guide broader motion. Nothing collapses inward. Nothing rushes outward. The Milky Way turns slowly, carrying everything with it, including our solar system, in an orbit that takes hundreds of millions of years to complete. Sagittarius A remains at the center of that motion, not as a destination, but as a reference. Distance keeps that relationship gentle. It allows immense mass to exist without urgency. It allows power to remain quiet. It allows stability to persist across timescales far beyond individual lives. And so, the space between here and there is not empty in meaning. It is full of time, full of buffer, full of calm. Mass is often imagined as something heavy in motion, as weight that presses, pulls, or collapses. But in space, mass behaves differently. It shapes motion without needing to move itself. Sagittarius A contains an extraordinary amount of mass. Approximately 4 million times the mass of our Sun is concentrated within a region smaller than the orbit of Mercury. This number is difficult to visualize, not because it is abstract, but because it is so far removed from everyday experience. Yet this mass does not announce itself through noise or disruption. It does not surge outward. It does not flare continuously with light. Instead, it remains settled. Mass, at this scale, becomes a stabilizing presence. It defines how surrounding objects move, not by forceful interaction, but by quiet influence. Stars near Sagittarius do not fall inward in straight lines. They trace smooth, curved paths, responding to gravity in ways that are orderly and predictable. This is one of the key misunderstandings about black holes. They are often imagined as active agents, pulling everything toward them with irresistible strength. In reality, gravity behaves the same way it does everywhere else. Outside the immediate boundary of the black hole, mass simply shapes space-time, and objects move accordingly. If the Sun were replaced by a black hole of equal mass, the planets would continue orbiting almost exactly as they do now. The difference would not be in motion, but in appearance. The structure of gravity would remain. Sagittarius A follows this same principle. Its mass is immense, but it does not reach across the galaxy indiscriminately. Its influence diminishes rapidly with distance. Stars closer to the center move more quickly, while those farther away follow broader, slower paths. This gradient of motion creates balance. The stars nearest Sagittarius A are not chaotic. They move faster because they must, completing their orbits in shorter times. Some of these stars loop around the center in just a few decades, their paths mapped carefully over years of observation. Farther out, stars move more slowly. Their orbits stretch wider. Time smooths their motion into gentle arcs. Together, these movements form a system that has persisted for billions of years. Sagittarius A does not need to consume matter to maintain its mass. It already contains what it contains. At present, it is considered relatively inactive, meaning that very little material is falling into it. This low accretion rate results in minimal radiation. The absence of dramatic activity is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of equilibrium. When mass settles into balance with its surroundings, systems become stable. Energy is no longer released in bursts. Motion becomes predictable. Change slows. This is why Sagittarius A can exist as a quiet center rather than a violent one. Its mass anchors the inner region of the Milky Way, contributing to the overall structure of the galaxy. It provides a gravitational reference around which stars organize their motion. Without that mass, the galaxy would still exist, but its inner dynamics would look different. Mass does not dominate by force. It organizes by presence. The concentration of mass at the galactic center influences the density of stars nearby. It shapes the distribution of gas and dust. It helps maintain the coherence of the inner galaxy over immense spans of time. This influence is subtle when viewed from afar. From Earth, Sagittarius A does not feel heavy. It does not weigh on the sky. It does not alter the rhythm of days or nights. Its mass operates on scales so large that its effects blend seamlessly into the background of existence. Even the concept of 4 million suns becomes quieter when placed in context. The Milky Way itself contains hundreds of billions of stars. Sagittarius A's mass, though enormous locally, is only a small fraction of the total mass of the galaxy. This balance between concentration and scale is what allows galaxies to remain stable. No single object dominates absolutely. Instead, mass is distributed, layered, and moderated by distance. Sagittarius exists as one part of that layered system. A dense core surrounded by motion, a still center within a rotating whole. Its mass does not rush. It does not need to act. It simply remains, shaping space around it through its continued presence. In this way, mass becomes less about heaviness and more about steadiness, less about force and more about form. A quiet architecture underlying motion. Sagittarius holds its mass the way the galaxy holds its shape, without tension, without urgency, without change that demands attention. And so, the immense weight at the center of the Milky Way does not press inward or outward. Order in space does not come from stillness. It comes from motion that repeats. Around Sagittarius, stars do not wander randomly. They follow paths shaped by gravity, tracing curves that return again and again to familiar positions. These paths are not rigid lines, but smooth orbits, flexible yet consistent, responding to mass rather than command. Gravity is often described as a pulling force, but that description is incomplete. What gravity truly provides is structure. It defines how objects move when nothing is pushing them away. In the presence of sufficient mass, motion bends naturally into curves instead of continuing in straight lines. This is what creates orbit. Near the center of the Milky Way, Sagittarius provides a deep gravitational well. Stars entering this region adjust their motion accordingly. They do not fall inward unless their paths are already directed that way. Instead, they swing around the center, accelerating as they approach, then slowing again as they move away. This exchange between speed and distance creates balance. Some of the stars closest to Sagittarius move very quickly. Their orbits are tight and compact, completing full paths in years or decades. Others, farther out, move more slowly, tracing wider loops that take far longer to complete. Each star finds a rhythm suited to its position. Despite the differences in speed, the pattern remains orderly. There is no collision of paths, no sudden change in direction, no sign of instability. This is because gravity does not demand, it responds. Given enough time, systems governed by gravity tend toward regularity. Irregular motion smooths out. Extreme paths either stabilize or drift away. What remains are orbits that can persist for millions of years without interruption. Sagittarius has had ample time. For billions of years, stars near the galactic center have been adjusting to its presence. Those that could not find stable paths moved elsewhere. Those that remained settled into predictable motion. What we observe today is the result of that long filtering process. Not chaos, but refinement. Orbit is one of the most reliable forms of order in the universe. From electrons around atoms to planets around stars, curved motion is nature's way of maintaining balance. Sagittarius participates in this same principle, simply on a much larger scale. The stars orbiting Sagittarius act as markers of this order. By observing their paths, astronomers can measure mass, distance, and time without ever seeing the central object directly. The orbit itself becomes the evidence. These stars do not behave as though they are being chased or pulled inward. Their motion shows no urgency. Each orbit repeats with quiet consistency, revealing a system that has settled into equilibrium. In this environment, gravity is not disruptive. It is organizing. Order does not require stillness. It requires predictability. The galactic center appears active only when viewed without context. Yes, stars move quickly there. Yes, distances are shorter. But speed alone does not imply disorder. A clock's hands move constantly, yet the clock remains reliable. In the same way, stars near Sagittarius move rapidly while maintaining stable patterns. This distinction matters. Motion governed by balance is calming to observe. It does not surprise. It does not escalate. It repeats. Sagittarius does not need to control this motion. Its mass simply exists, and motion organizes itself around that fact. There is no ongoing adjustment, no struggle to maintain order. The system has already found it. Over time, this regularity becomes self-sustaining. Small disturbances are absorbed. Paths adjust slightly, then return to form. The overall structure persists. From a distance, this appears as a calm center surrounded by movement. Not frantic, not collapsing, simply active in a measured way. Order like this is not fragile. It is resilient. Because it is based on fundamental physical laws, it does not depend on conditions being perfect. It depends only on mass, motion, and time. Sagittarius provides the mass. Stars provide the motion. Time provides the settling. Together, they create a system that continues without supervision. There is something quietly reassuring about this kind of order. It does not require intention. It does not need correction. It emerges naturally when conditions allow. At the heart of the Milky Way, that emergence has already occurred. Stars continue their orbits, tracing invisible paths that repeat far longer than any single lifetime. Sagittarius remains where it is, not directing, not reacting, simply present. And so, order persists, not because it is enforced, but because it is the most efficient way for motion to exist. Curved paths, repeated cycles, balance held across time. In this steady motion, there is no urgency, only continuation. Order in space does not come from stillness. It comes from motion that repeats. Around Sagittarius, stars do not wander randomly. They follow paths shaped by gravity, tracing curves that return again and again to familiar positions. These paths are not rigid lines, but smooth orbits, flexible yet consistent, responding to mass rather than command. Gravity is often described as a pulling force, but that description is incomplete. What gravity truly provides is structure. It defines how objects move when nothing is pushing them away. In the presence of sufficient mass, motion bends naturally into curves instead of continuing in straight lines. This is what creates orbit. Near the center of the Milky Way, Sagittarius provides a deep gravitational well. Stars entering this region adjust their motion accordingly. They do not fall inward unless their paths are already directed that way. Instead, they swing around the center, accelerating as they approach, then slowing again as they move away. This exchange between speed and distance creates balance. Some of the stars closest to Sagittarius move very quickly. Their orbits are tight and compact, completing full paths in years or decades. Others, farther out, move more slowly, tracing wider loops that take far longer to complete. Each star finds a rhythm suited to its position. Despite the differences in speed, the pattern remains orderly. There is no collision of paths, no sudden change in direction, no sign of instability. This is because gravity does not demand, it responds. Given enough time, systems governed by gravity tend toward regularity. Irregular motion smooths out. Extreme paths either stabilize or drift away. What remains are orbits that can persist for millions of years without interruption. Sagittarius has had ample time. For billions of years, stars near the galactic center have been adjusting to its presence. Those that could not find stable paths moved elsewhere. Those that remained settled into predictable motion. What we observe today is the result of that long filtering process. Not chaos, but refinement. Orbit is one of the most reliable forms of order in the universe. From electrons around atoms to planets around stars, curved motion is nature's way of maintaining balance. Sagittarius participates in this same principle, simply on a much larger scale. The stars orbiting Sagittarius act as markers of this order. By observing their paths, astronomers can measure mass, distance, and time without ever seeing the central object directly. The orbit itself becomes the evidence. These stars do not behave as though they are being chased or pulled inward. Their motion shows no urgency. Each orbit repeats with quiet consistency, revealing a system that has settled into equilibrium. In this environment, gravity is not disruptive. It is organizing. Order does not require stillness. It requires predictability. The galactic center appears active only when viewed without context. Yes, stars move quickly there. Yes, distances are shorter. But speed alone does not imply disorder. A clock's hands move constantly, yet the clock remains reliable. In the same way, stars near Sagittarius move rapidly while maintaining stable patterns. This distinction matters. Motion governed by balance is calming to observe. It does not surprise. It does not escalate. It repeats. Sagittarius does not need to control this motion. Its mass simply exists, and motion organizes itself around that fact. There is no ongoing adjustment, no struggle to maintain order. The system has already found it. Over time, This regularity becomes self-sustaining. Small disturbances are absorbed. Paths adjust slightly, then return to form. The overall structure persists. From a distance, this appears as a calm center surrounded by movement. Not frantic, not collapsing, simply active in a measured way. Order like this is not fragile. It is resilient. Because it is based on fundamental physical laws, it does not depend on conditions being perfect. It depends only on mass, motion, and time. Sagittarius provides the mass. Stars provide the motion. Time provides the settling. Together, they create a system that continues without supervision. There is something quietly reassuring about this kind of order. It does not require intention. It does not need correction. It emerges naturally when conditions allow. At the heart of the Milky Way, that emergence has already occurred. Stars continue their orbits, tracing invisible paths that repeat far longer than any single lifetime. Sagittarius remains where it is, not directing, not reacting, simply present. And so, order persists, not because it is enforced, but because it is the most efficient way for motion to exist. Curved paths, repeated cycles, balance held across time. In this steady motion, there is no urgency, only continuation. Time behaves differently near the center of a galaxy, not because clocks run strangely, but because motion unfolds on scales that stretch far beyond ordinary experience. Near Sagittarius, time is measured less in moments and more in cycles, in paths that repeat slowly, patiently, without concern for observation. The stars closest to Sagittarius move faster than those farther away. They must. Gravity shapes their motion into tighter curves, and tighter curves require greater speed to maintain balance. Yet even this speed is deceptive. From a human perspective, these stars appear to race. But from the perspective of the galaxy, their movement is deliberate and unhurried. Some complete a full orbit in a few decades. Others take a century or more. Even the fastest among them move slowly when viewed against the age of the system they belong to. A few decades may feel significant to us. To the galaxy, it is a brief adjustment. Farther from the center, time stretches even more. Stars follow wider paths, taking hundreds of thousands or millions of years to complete a single circuit around Sagittarius. Their motion is so gradual that it appears fixed, unchanged across many human lifetimes. This layering of time creates a sense of depth. Different regions of the galaxy move according to different rhythms, all coordinated by gravity, none in conflict with one another. Near Sagittarius, the pace is quicker, but still steady. Farther out, the pace slows, smoothing motion into near stillness. Together, these rhythms form a continuous gradient, not a boundary. Time does not rush anywhere in this system. It simply adjusts. When astronomers observe stars near Sagittarius, they often return to the same datasets year after year. Only by comparing positions across long intervals can motion be confirmed. A few degrees of arc here, a slight curve there. Movement reveals itself gradually. This patience is essential. Nothing near Sagittarius changes abruptly. Even significant shifts in position require years to become apparent. The system resists sudden change, favoring continuity instead. This resistance is one of the defining qualities of large gravitational systems. Mass and distance work together to slow evolution. They stretch time outward, allowing systems to persist without interruption. Sagittarius has existed for billions of years. During that time, stars have come and gone. Some have drifted inward, others have moved outward. But the overall structure has remained. The center does not reset. It does not start over. It carries forward what has already settled. Time near Sagittarius is not marked by events. It is marked by repetition, by orbits that complete and begin again, nearly identical to the ones before. This repetition is not monotony. It is stability. When systems repeat successfully, they do not need to change. They conserve energy. They minimize disruption. They continue. From Earth, we are accustomed to time being defined by change. Days pass because the sun rises and sets. Seasons pass because the Earth tilts and moves. Years pass because orbits complete. Near Sagittarius, these same principles apply, but on a grander scale. The cycles are longer, the changes are subtler, the rhythm is slower. One full orbit of the Sun around the galactic center takes roughly 225 million years. That is a single year in the life of the Milky Way. Everything humanity has ever done exists within a fraction of that span. Sagittarius has witnessed countless such orbits. Not actively, not observantly, simply by remaining. Time accumulates around it the way sediment gathers in still water. Layer upon layer, undisturbed. This accumulation does not produce pressure. It produces depth. Depth allows systems to absorb change without breaking. Minor disturbances fade. Paths correct themselves gently. Equilibrium returns. This is why Sagittarius does not feel urgent. It is embedded in time so vast that urgency has no place. Nothing needs to happen quickly. Nothing needs to be resolved. The stars will continue their paths whether noticed or not. Their motion will remain smooth whether observed or ignored. Time will pass at its chosen pace. Sagittarius exists within that passage, not ahead of it, not behind it. It does not hurry time forward. It does not hold time back. It simply allows time to move as slowly as it naturally does. In this environment, motion becomes calm. Change becomes gradual. Presence becomes enough. Time moves differently here, not because it is altered, but because it is unpressured. And in that unpressured movement, there is quiet. Sagittarius is often imagined as something that pulls. That image is persistent. A center that drags everything inward. A force that reaches outward, drawing stars, gas, and light toward itself. But this image does not match how gravity behaves. Sagittarius does not reach. It does not chase. It does not extend an invisible hand across space. Gravity does not work that way. Outside of its immediate boundary, Sagittarius influences its surroundings in the same manner as any object of comparable mass. Its gravity shapes motion, but it does not act with intent. Objects move according to the paths they already have, bending gently rather than being seized. If a star is already traveling on a stable path, Sagittarius does nothing to interrupt it. The star continues along its orbit, repeating the same curve again and again. There is no sudden inward pull, no acceleration toward destruction. This distinction is important. The idea of a black hole pulling implies urgency. It suggests an active process unfolding in time. In reality, Sagittarius is passive. Its gravity exists whether anything responds to it or not. Objects only fall inward if their paths take them there. If a star or a cloud of gas happens to drift extremely close, crossing the boundary where escape is no longer possible, then its motion changes. But outside that region, nothing unusual occurs. Most of space around Sagittarius is not moving inward. It is moving sideways, curving gently around a center, guided by balance rather than force. This sideways motion is what creates orbit. Orbit is not a failure to escape. It is a successful negotiation between speed and gravity. Too slow, and an object falls inward. Too fast, and it moves away. Between those extremes lies a path that can repeat indefinitely. Sagittarius has spent billions of years surrounded by objects that have found this balance. Those that could not either moved elsewhere or were absorbed long ago. What remains is a refined system, shaped by time into stability. This is why Sagittarius appears calm. There is no constant stream of matter falling inward, no dramatic funnel of light, no ongoing collapse. Most of what passes near Sagittarius continues on its way, following the same paths it always has. Gravity shapes those paths, but it does not rewrite them. The notion of black holes as cosmic vacuums comes from misunderstanding scale. On very small distances, close to the event horizon, gravity becomes extreme. But those distances are tiny compared to the vast spaces between stars. For Sagittarius, that boundary is small relative to the size of the galaxy. Beyond it, space behaves normally. Stars do not spiral inward over time unless their orbits are already unstable. Gas does not rush toward the center unless something disturbs it. Light does not bend dramatically unless it passes very close. Most of the galaxy never experiences these conditions. From afar, Sagittarius exerts influence without intrusion. It shapes motion without interference. It allows systems to continue rather than interrupting them. This is why the inner region of the Milky Way does not feel like a place of collapse. It feels structured, ordered, predictable. Even near the center, motion is smooth. This smoothness is evidence of long-term stability. If Sagittarius were actively pulling large amounts of matter inward, the surrounding environment would be chaotic. Orbits would be disrupted. Paths would cross. Energy would be released in bursts. Instead, what we observe is quiet repetition. Sagittarius has already shaped its surroundings. It does not need to keep acting. The system has settled. This passivity is not absence. It is completion. The work of organizing motion was done long ago. What remains is maintenance through presence alone. There is something reassuring about this. Power that does not announce itself. Influence that does not intrude. Sagittarius does not move toward anything. It does not pursue. It does not expand. It remains. And because it remains, motion around it continues in steady, familiar ways. No chase, no urgency, no pull. Only paths that curve gently and return again, shaped by gravity that has nothing left to prove. Sagittarius does not feed constantly. This may seem surprising, given how black holes are often described. They are imagined as endlessly consuming, drawing in matter at every opportunity. But in reality, most black holes spend much of their existence in a quiet state, interacting very little with their surroundings. Sagittarius is one of these quiet examples. At the center of the Milky Way, material does exist. There are clouds of gas. There is dust. There are stars passing nearby. But very little of this material is actually falling inward. This process, known as accretion, occurs when matter loses enough energy to drift toward a black hole and cross its inner boundary. For Sagittarius, this process is slow, sparse, measured over long spans of time. Most of the gas near the galactic center continues moving along stable paths. It does not spiral inward in large quantities. It does not heat up into a bright, glowing disk. As a result, Sagittarius remains faint. Compared to black holes in other galaxies, which can shine brightly as they consume large amounts of matter, Sagittarius is remarkably subdued. It emits relatively little radiation. Its surroundings remain calm rather than turbulent. This low activity is one of the reasons Sagittarius feels less dramatic than its reputation might suggest. There is no constant outpouring of energy, no intense flares dominating the region. Instead, energy release is minimal. When small amounts of gas do drift inward, the process is gentle. Material warms slightly as it approaches, emitting faint radio and infrared signals. These signals are detectable, but they are not overwhelming. They arrive quietly. This quiet accretion tells a story of balance. Sagittarius exists in an environment where conditions have largely settled. The gas that once might have fed it more actively has either moved on, formed stars, or stabilized into orbit. The system has aged. Over billions of years, the galactic center has gone through phases of activity and rest. There were likely times in the distant past when Sagittarius consumed more material than it does now. But those periods are long over. What remains is a mature system. In mature systems, dramatic change is rare. Energy finds efficient paths. Motion smooths out. Extreme behavior fades. Sagittarius reflects this maturity. Its quiet nature does not mean it is weak. It still contains immense mass. Its gravity still shapes the inner galaxy. But it does so without drawing attention to itself. Accretion, when it happens, unfolds slowly. Material drifts inward, not because it is pulled suddenly, but because small interactions over long periods gently alter its path. A collision here, a loss of energy there, nothing abrupt. This gradual process ensures that even when Sagittarius interacts with its surroundings, the interaction remains calm. There are no sudden disruptions, no shocks that propagate outward. From Earth, this quiet feeding appears as stability. The galactic center does not brighten unexpectedly. It does not change its character from year to year. Observations made decades apart show the same subdued behavior, the same faint emissions, the same calm environment. This consistency reinforces the idea that Sagittarius is not an active force in daily galactic life. It does not demand material. It accepts it only when conditions allow. Most of the time, conditions do not. this quiet state is actually common. Across the universe, many supermassive black holes exist in similar low-activity phases. They spend long periods simply being present, influencing motion without consuming matter. Sagittarius is not unusual in this regard. It is representative. This realization shifts how black holes are understood. They are not perpetual engines of destruction. They are long-lived structures that occasionally interact with their surroundings, but mostly remain still. Quiet accretion supports long-term stability. It prevents sudden changes. It allows the galaxy to evolve gradually rather than violently. At the center of the Milky Way, Sagittarius rests within this calm equilibrium. It does not hunger. It does not rush. It exists. And in that existence, it shapes the galaxy gently, through presence rather than action. No flare, no surge, no urgency. Just a quiet center, continuing without disturbance, allowing the rest of the galaxy to move on around it. There is a boundary around Sagittarius that is often misunderstood. It is called the event horizon. The name can sound dramatic, as though something is constantly happening there. In reality, it describes a limit rather than an action. A line defined by physics, not by motion. The event horizon marks the distance from Sagittarius at which gravity becomes strong enough that light can no longer escape. Anything that crosses this boundary cannot send information back outward, not because it is destroyed instantly, but because all possible paths forward lead deeper inward. From the outside, this boundary does not glow. It does not shimmer. It does not announce itself. It is invisible. If nothing were nearby, there would be no way to see it at all. The event horizon exists whether or not anything approaches it. It is a condition of space, not a physical surface. This is an important distinction. The event horizon is not a wall. It is not a barrier that pushes back. It does not exert force. It is simply the point at which escape is no longer possible. For Sagittarius, this boundary is surprisingly small compared to its mass. Despite containing millions of times the mass of the Sun, the event horizon is only a few times larger than the orbit of Mercury. In the context of the galaxy, this region is tiny. Almost all of space around Sagittarius lies far outside this boundary. Stars orbit at safe distances. Gas clouds drift past without consequence. Light travels freely. Nothing dramatic occurs unless something comes extraordinarily close. Even then, from a distance, nothing appears to happen at all. This is one of the most counterintuitive aspects of black holes. To an outside observer, objects approaching the event horizon appear to slow down. Their motion stretches in time. Signals become fainter and redder as gravity affects the light itself. Eventually, those signals fade. From far away, it looks as though the object never quite crosses the boundary. Not because it doesn't, but because information about that crossing can no longer reach outward. The event horizon is a horizon in the truest sense. Like the horizon on Earth, it marks the limit of what can be seen, not the edge of what exists. Beyond it, space continues, time continues, motion continues, but not in a way that can be observed from outside. For Sagittarius, this boundary has been in place for billions of years. It does not expand rapidly. It does not shrink. It remains stable because the mass remains stable. There is no ongoing drama at this edge. Most of the time, nothing crosses it at all. The space near Sagittarius is vast, and the region of no return is small. The probability of an object drifting directly into the event horizon is low, unless its path is already precisely aligned. This is why Sagittarius can exist quietly at the center of the Milky Way, without constant activity. The event horizon does not demand matter. It does not reach outward to claim it. It simply exists. Even light, which travels faster than anything else, obeys this limit. Once light passes too close, the geometry of space bends its path inward. Not abruptly, not violently, gradually. From the outside, this bending is subtle unless viewed extremely close. Farther away, light behaves almost normally. Stars shine, signals travel, space feels familiar. The presence of an event horizon does not change the character of the surrounding galaxy. It defines an inner boundary, but leaves the vast majority of space untouched. This is why the event horizon is best understood as a condition rather than a location. It is not something that acts, it is something that is true. True because of mass, true because of gravity, true regardless of attention. For Sagittarius, this truth has remained unchanged for longer than human history. The boundary has held steady, while stars formed, moved, and faded, while galaxies evolved, while time passed unnoticed. Nothing at the event horizon is unfolding toward us. Nothing there is approaching. Nothing is building toward an outcome. It remains a quiet limit, defining what can be seen and what cannot. And beyond that limit, motion continues without urgency, without signal, without return. A boundary that does not move. A condition that does not announce itself. A horizon that exists simply because mass bends space in a particular way. Sagittarius holds this boundary without effort, without intention, without change. And so, the event horizon remains where it is, neither inviting nor resisting, quietly marking the edge of what can be known from afar. Light is how most things in space are known. Stars announce themselves by shining. Nebulae glow softly as gas becomes illuminated. Even distant galaxies reveal their shapes through faint traces of light that have traveled for millions of years. Sagittarius does none of this. No light emerges from it directly. Nothing reflects. Nothing shines outward to announce its presence. And yet, it was discovered. Not by what it shows, but by what moves. Long before any image existed, astronomers noticed something unusual about the stars near the center of the Milky Way. Their motion did not match what would be expected if only visible matter were present. They moved too quickly. They curved too sharply. Something unseen was shaping their paths. By tracking these stars over many years, a pattern emerged. Their orbits pointed to a single location, where an enormous amount of mass had to exist. Not spread out, not diffuse, concentrated. This was how Sagittarius revealed itself. Not as an object to be seen, but as a presence inferred through motion. The stars became messengers, quietly outlining the shape of gravity around something invisible. Some of these stars were observed completing full orbits within a human lifetime. Their paths were traced carefully, year after year, with increasing precision. Each measurement refined the picture, narrowing the location of the unseen mass. The conclusion became unavoidable. Only a supermassive black hole could explain such motion within such a small region of space. This method of discovery is deeply characteristic of astronomy. Much of what is known about the universe is not seen directly. It is deduced through influence, through effect rather than appearance. Sagittarius fits perfectly into this tradition. Because no light escapes from it, Sagittarius cannot be observed in the same way as a star. Instead, its existence is confirmed by the way it affects its surroundings. The bending of paths, the speed of orbits, the structure of motion. In this way, absence becomes informative. The lack of light is not emptiness. It is a signal in itself. Direct light cannot escape a black hole because gravity curves space so strongly near the center. Paths that would normally lead outward instead bend inward. Light follows the geometry of space, and near Sagittarius, that geometry closes in on itself. But this effect is only absolute at the very center. Farther out, light behaves almost normally. Stars shine, signals travel. This allows the surrounding environment to be studied in detail. By observing how light from nearby stars bends and shifts, astronomers can map the gravitational landscape around Sagittarius without ever seeing it directly. This process is slow. It requires patience. Small changes must be measured across long spans of time. Nothing about this discovery was sudden. Years passed between observations. Decades of data were layered together. Confidence grew gradually as patterns repeated. This slow accumulation mirrors the nature of the object itself. Sagittarius did not announce itself because it had no need to. Its presence was steady enough that careful observation eventually revealed it. There is something fitting about this. An object defined by stillness is known through persistence. An unseen center is revealed by patient watching rather than dramatic display. Seeing the unseen requires a different kind of attention, one that notices patterns rather than flashes, one that values repetition over surprise. Sagittarius invites this kind of observation. Its influence does not change quickly. Its mass does not fluctuate. Its position remains fixed relative to the galaxy. Because of this, its effects are consistent. Orbits repeat. Speeds remain steady. Predictions hold. This consistency allows confidence to form without urgency. There is no need to rush understanding when nothing is changing rapidly. The system allows itself to be known slowly. In many ways, Sagittarius is easier to understand because it does so little. There are no sudden outbursts to interpret, no chaotic events to explain, only motion responding to gravity, repeating again and again. The unseen becomes familiar through reliability. Over time, Sagittarius shifted from a hypothesis to a certainty. Not because it was finally seen, but because it could no longer be denied. Its presence explained everything that needed explaining. Nothing more, nothing less. And so, Sagittarius exists in a unique category of objects. Profoundly influential, completely invisible, known not by light, but by order. A center revealed by motion, a structure defined by what moves around it, rather than what emerges from it. In this way, Sagittarius remains unseen, yet understood, absent, yet present, invisible, yet unmistakably there. The signals that come from Sagittarius arrive quietly. They are not bursts of light or sudden flashes. They do not fill the sky or announce themselves with brightness. Instead, they travel outward as faint waves, moving through space with patience. These signals exist in the form of radio waves. Radio waves are a type of light, but they behave differently from the light our eyes can see. They have longer wavelengths. They pass through dust and gas that would otherwise block visibility. They move calmly through crowded regions of space. This is why Sagittarius can be studied at all. The center of the Milky Way is thick with dust. Visible light struggles to pass through it. Stars and structures behind this veil appear dim or disappear entirely when viewed with ordinary telescopes. Radio waves do not share this limitation. They slip through dust clouds without resistance. They continue forward, carrying information that visible light cannot. Because of this, radio astronomy opened a window into a region that was once hidden. Sagittarius emits radio waves not because it shines, but because of what happens nearby. Small amounts of gas move through the region around it. As this gas interacts with magnetic fields and heats slightly, it produces faint radio emissions. These emissions are subtle. They do not indicate intense activity. They do not suggest rapid change. They simply mark the presence of motion and energy at low levels. For Sagittarius, this radio quietness is a defining trait. Compared to active black holes in other galaxies, Sagittarius is subdued. Its radio output is steady rather than explosive. Observations made years apart reveal similar patterns, with only minor variation. This consistency reinforces the sense of calm. Radio telescopes do not observe Sagittarius by watching for sudden events. They observe by listening patiently, collecting weak signals over long periods of time. Data is gathered slowly, often requiring many hours or days of observation to reveal structure. Nothing arrives all at once. The radio emissions from Sagittarius are among the faintest ever studied for a supermassive black hole. They indicate that the environment near the center of the galaxy is stable. That gas is present, but not rushing inward. That energy is being released gently rather than violently. This quiet behavior aligns with everything else observed about Sagittarius. Its mass is settled. Its surroundings are organized. Its influence is steady. Radio waves provide confirmation rather than surprise. They allow astronomers to map magnetic fields near the center of the galaxy. They reveal how gas drifts rather than falls. They offer insight into motion without drama. Because radio waves travel at the speed of light, they also carry timing information. Small changes can be measured, not to detect danger, but to understand structure. Patterns repeat. Signals remain faint. There is no sense of escalation. This absence of escalation matters. In active galaxies, radio emissions can flare dramatically as black holes consume large amounts of matter. Jets can form, stretching thousands of light years into space. Energy pours outward. Sagittarius does none of this. It emits no large jets. It produces no sustained flares. Its radio signature remains modest. This modesty is not a lack. It is a state. It indicates that Sagittarius is in equilibrium with its surroundings. That matter nearby has found stable paths. That energy is dissipated slowly rather than released suddenly. Listening to Sagittarius through radio waves is like hearing a distant, steady hum rather than a sharp sound. It does not demand attention. It remains present in the background. This background presence is enough. Through radio observation, the unseen center of the Milky Way becomes gently perceptible, not through light that dazzles, but through signals that persist quietly. Sagittarius does not speak loudly across the galaxy. It does not need to. Its radio quietness reflects the broader character of the system it anchors. Stable, measured, unhurried. Signals arrive without urgency. Information accumulates without pressure. Understanding deepens without disruption. And so, through radio waves that pass effortlessly through dust and distance, Sagittarius continues to be known, not as a source of spectacle, but as a steady presence revealing itself slowly to those willing to listen. Across the Earth, instruments quietly work together. They sit on mountaintops, in deserts, along coastlines, spread across different continents and time zones. Each one listens to the sky in its own place, collecting faint radio signals that have traveled for tens of thousands of years. Individually, these instruments are powerful. Together, they become something else entirely. This collaboration is known as the Event Horizon Telescope. Rather than being a single structure, it is a network, a collection of radio telescopes synchronized so precisely that they function as one. When combined, they create a virtual instrument the size of the Earth itself. This scale is necessary because Sagittarius is distant and subtle. Its event horizon is small when viewed from here. Capturing any detail at that distance requires resolution far beyond what a single telescope could achieve. By linking telescopes across the globe, astronomers were able to reach that resolution. The process is not fast. Each telescope records data independently, collecting hours of observations as the Earth rotates beneath the sky. Atomic clocks keep time with extraordinary precision, ensuring that signals can later be aligned down to fractions of a second. These recordings are not images. They are streams of data, measurements of wave patterns, traces of signal strength and timing. Only later, after careful processing, do these data sets come together. When combined, they form a coherent picture. Not a photograph in the traditional sense, but a reconstruction based on physics, timing, and repetition. This approach reflects the nature of Sagittarius itself. It cannot be captured in a moment. It must be revealed gradually. The Event Horizon Telescope did not watch Sagittarius directly. It observed the region around it, the faint glow of material moving near the event horizon, the subtle distortion of light shaped by gravity. By studying these effects, scientists could infer the shape and size of the boundary itself. The effort required coordination on a global scale. Weather had to align. Instruments had to be calibrated. Data had to be transported physically, often on hard drives, because the volume was too large to send electronically. This took time. Months of preparation, years of planning, long stretches of analysis. Nothing about this process was rushed. The patience required matched the patience of the system being studied. Sagittarius did not change while observations were made. It did not flare or shift. It remained steady. This steadiness made collaboration possible. Because nothing was unfolding rapidly, observations taken at different locations and times could be meaningfully combined. The Event Horizon Telescope is as much a demonstration of human cooperation as it is of technology. No single observer could claim ownership of the result. Understanding emerged from alignment rather than control. This mirrors the broader theme of gravity itself. Order arising from interaction. Structure emerging from balance. When the data were finally assembled, the result was not dramatic in the way many expected. It was calm, subtle, defined more by absence than by excess. And that was appropriate. The image did not announce a discovery. It confirmed what careful observation had already suggested: that Sagittarius is what theory predicted, that gravity behaves as expected, that the unseen follows consistent rules. The Event Horizon Telescope did not reveal something new in behavior. It revealed clarity, clarity that emerged slowly, from many places, through quiet cooperation. This achievement did not change Sagittarius. It changed how it could be perceived. The black hole remained exactly as it was before, unmoving, unconcerned. But now, its boundary could be understood in a new way, not through imagination, not through speculation, but through collective observation grounded in patience. The Event Horizon Telescope stands as a reminder that some things can only be known by working together, by waiting, by allowing data to accumulate. Sagittarius did not need to reveal itself. It simply allowed itself to be measured. And so, through instruments spread across the Earth, a quiet center far away became gently defined, not through force, not through urgency, through alignment, through time, through listening. The image that emerged did not capture motion. This surprised many people. There was an expectation of turbulence, of swirling light, of something actively unfolding. Instead, what appeared was still. A soft ring, a faint glow, a quiet boundary surrounding darkness. This image was not a snapshot taken in a single moment. It was the result of long observation, combined carefully over time. Hours of data, days of collection, signals gathered from different parts of the Earth and woven together patiently. Because of this, the image represents an average rather than an instant. It smooths out short-term variation. It removes brief fluctuations. What remains is the stable structure beneath. This is why the image feels calm. The material near Sagittarius does move. Gas shifts. Energy flows gently. But these changes occur on timescales that blur when observed across long exposures. The resulting picture reflects persistence rather than activity. Long exposure has this effect everywhere in astronomy. Stars become trails, noise fades, structure emerges. In the case of Sagittarius, long exposure reveals that nothing dramatic dominates the region near the event horizon. There is no constant flare, no sharp boundary of chaos. Instead, gravity shapes light into a ring, not because light is emitted, but because it bends. Paths curve. Photons that skim close enough are redirected, outlining the boundary of no return. The darkness at the center of the image is not an object. It is a shadow, a region from which light cannot arrive. Around it, the glow appears uneven, brighter on one side, softer on the other. This imbalance is not instability. It reflects motion relative to the observer. Material moving toward us appears brighter. Material moving away appears dimmer. Even this asymmetry is gentle. Nothing in the image suggests urgency. Nothing hints at change unfolding rapidly. The structure appears settled. This is consistent with everything known about Sagittarius. Its mass is stable. Its accretion is minimal. Its environment is mature. The image does not show a black hole doing something. It shows a black hole being what it is. This distinction matters. Images often imply action. They freeze moments of change. They capture events. This image captures absence. Absence of light. Absence of drama. Absence of escalation. What remains is geometry. Space curved by mass. Light following those curves. The stillness of the image reflects the stillness of the system itself. Sagittarius is not in the middle of a transformation. It is not transitioning from one state to another. It has already arrived. The image also reinforces scale. The ring is small compared to the galaxy that surrounds it. The darkness occupies a tiny region relative to the vastness beyond. This context reduces fear. It replaces imagination with proportion. The boundary is real, but limited. The darkness is complete, but contained. Everything else continues as before. Stars orbit far outside the frame. Gas drifts calmly. The galaxy turns. The image does not interrupt that motion. It simply confirms what gravity has been doing quietly all along. There is something fitting about the fact that such an extreme object produces such a gentle image. It aligns with the broader theme of Sagittarius as a presence rather than an event. Extreme conditions exist, but they are localized, contained, surrounded by normal space behaving normally. The image does not ask to be stared at intensely. It does not demand interpretation. It sits, like the object it represents. A ring shaped by physics, a shadow shaped by inevitability, a picture formed by patience. Nothing in it is moving toward us. Nothing is accelerating outward. Nothing is building. The image exists because observation was allowed to take its time. And in that time, motion softened into form. Sagittarius remains unseen directly, yet its boundary is gently traced. Its presence confirmed not by spectacle, but by consistency. A quiet image for a quiet center. The motion of our solar system is easy to overlook. From Earth, everything feels steady. The ground beneath us does not curve. The sky does not rotate in a way that feels directional. Day follows night. Seasons repeat. Yet all of this calm exists within a much larger movement. Our sun is not fixed in the Milky Way. It is traveling, quietly, patiently, along with every planet, moon, and small object bound to it. The sun follows a broad path around the center of the galaxy. That path is an orbit, shaped by gravity and maintained by balance. Sagittarius sits at the heart of that motion. The solar system's orbit around the galactic center is vast. Its distance from Sagittarius is measured in tens of thousands of light years. At this scale, the orbit is not a tight curve, but a wide, gentle arc, traced slowly over immense spans of time. One complete orbit of the Sun around the center of the Milky Way takes approximately 225 million years, This span is sometimes called a galactic year. It is a length of time so large that it resists intuition. During a single galactic year, entire species rise and fall. Continents shift, climates change, civilizations appear and disappear. All of human history occupies only a small fraction of one such orbit. Despite this enormous timescale, the motion itself is smooth. The sun does not rush. It does not wobble unpredictably. It follows a path shaped long before Earth existed. This motion is shared. Every visible star in the night sky is also orbiting Sagittarius. Some move faster, some move more slowly, but all participate in the same general rotation of the galaxy. From within this system, the motion feels invisible. There is no sensation of turning, no feeling of speed. This is because the movement is uniform. Everything nearby is moving together. Uniform motion does not announce itself. It becomes background. The sun's orbit is guided not by force, but by balance between its velocity and the gravitational influence of the galaxy's mass. Sagittarius contributes to that influence as part of the inner structure of the Milky Way. Not alone, not dominating. The galaxy's mass is distributed across stars, gas, dust, and dark matter. Together, these components create the gravitational landscape in which the sun moves. Sagittarius marks the center of that landscape. The sun does not fall inward because it is already moving sideways through space. That sideways motion is what creates orbit. Gravity bends the path rather than stopping it. This balance has been stable for billions of years. As the sun completes its long journey, it passes through different regions of the galaxy. Spiral arms, denser clouds of gas, quieter inter-arm spaces. These changes occur gradually, so gradually that they blend into continuity rather than disruption. At no point does Sagittarius become closer in any meaningful sense. The distance remains vast, the separation constant. This constancy is important. It means that the presence of Sagittarius does not introduce instability into the solar system. Planetary orbits remain unchanged. The sun's internal processes remain unaffected. The influence of Sagittarius is structural, not immediate. From this perspective, the black hole at the center of the galaxy is not something we are moving toward. It is something we are moving around. This distinction removes urgency. Orbit implies repetition. It implies return. It implies predictability. Every time the sun completes a circuit, the galaxy remains. Sagittarius remains. The structure holds. The idea that we are orbiting a black hole can sound unsettling when phrased abruptly, but when understood in context, it becomes grounding. Orbit does not mean approach. It means coexistence within a stable system. The sun has completed many such orbits already. Long before Earth formed, long before life appeared, long before awareness existed. During all that time, the galaxy remained intact. Sagittarius remained at its center. Nothing catastrophic unfolded. This long history offers reassurance. Motion does not imply danger when balance is present. Speed does not imply threat when paths are stable. The solar system's journey through the Milky Way is quiet. It does not produce sensation. It does not require adjustment. It simply continues. Understanding this broader orbit places everyday motion into perspective. Earth's rotation, Earth's orbit around the Sun's orbit around Sagittarius. Each layer of motion is nested within the next, each governed by the same physical principles. Nothing needs to be corrected, nothing needs to be altered. The galaxy turns because it always has. Sagittarius remains because it always has. And somewhere within that immense, slow rotation, the solar system moves gently along its path, unchanged by awareness, unaffected by observation. A quiet journey within a quiet system. Motion without urgency. Orbit without destination. From Earth, Sagittarius does not make itself felt. There is no pull in the night sky, no shift in the rhythm of days, no subtle change in seasons or tides. Life continues as it always has. This is because distance and scale work together to ensure stability. Sagittarius exists far beyond the reach of anything that could influence daily life here. Its mass, while immense, is separated from us by tens of thousands of light years of space. At that distance, gravity becomes gentle. Its influence fades into the background of the galaxy's overall structure. Local forces dominate instead. The Sun governs the solar system. Earth governs the Moon. These nearby relationships shape motion in ways that are immediate and measurable. Sagittarius does not compete with them. Its role is not to intervene, but to anchor the broader system in which all of this takes place. It contributes to the long-term organization of the galaxy, not the moment-to-moment experience of life on a planet. This distinction matters. When people imagine a nearby black hole, the question often forms quietly: does it affect us? The answer is no. Sagittarius does not influence Earth's orbit. It does not alter the Sun's behavior. It does not change the stability of the planets. The forces that shape daily life operate on much smaller scales, governed by mass and distance in familiar proportions. The immense scale of Sagittarius places it firmly outside that realm. Even if Sagittarius were suddenly to change, an event that would unfold over timescales far longer than human history, the effects would not arrive quickly. Information travels at the speed of light. Any meaningful change would take tens of thousands of years to reach us. There is no immediacy here. This absence of immediacy allows the galaxy to remain layered. Local systems respond to local conditions. Larger structures guide motion gently without intrusion. The Milky Way has maintained this balance for billions of years. Stars form. Stars fade. Orbits persist. Sagittarius has been present throughout all of it. If its presence were disruptive, the galaxy would bear the marks of that disruption. Paths would be unstable. Structures would collapse. Patterns would not persist. Instead, what is observed is continuity. The spiral arms maintain their shape. The disk rotates smoothly. The inner regions remain organized. This stability confirms that Sagittarius is not a threat to the system it inhabits. It is a component of it. Even near the galactic center, where Sagittarius resides, stars maintain stable orbits. Their motion is faster, but not chaotic. Balance remains. This tells us something important about black holes in general. They are not inherently dangerous simply by existing. Their effects depend on proximity and scale. When distance is vast, influence becomes subtle. Sagittarius is distant enough that its presence blends into the structure of the galaxy rather than interrupting it. It is part of the framework, not an intrusion. Understanding this removes the need for concern. There is nothing approaching, nothing escalating. The black hole at the center of the Milky Way has been there since long before Earth formed. During that time, life emerged, oceans formed, atmospheres settled. None of this was hindered. This long coexistence is evidence of stability. It shows that Sagittarius and the solar system occupy different layers of influence, each operating within its own scale. From the surface of Earth, the galaxy feels distant and abstract. Sagittarius even more so. This distance is protective. It allows immense structures to exist without affecting the quiet details of life. It allows power to remain remote. It allows balance to persist. Sagittarius does not loom over daily existence. It does not wait. It does not influence. It simply remains where it has always been, far beyond the reach of concern, contributing silently to the structure of a galaxy that continues to turn. Nothing about this arrangement needs correction. Nothing about it demands attention. The system is already balanced, and because of that balance, life continues uninterrupted, moving forward within a galaxy that is stable, layered, and calm. Across the universe, Sagittarius is not unusual. It may feel singular because it belongs to our galaxy, but its role is widely shared. Most large galaxies appear to have something similar at their centers: a dense region of mass, a gravitational anchor around which motion organizes itself. In this way, Sagittarius is part of a larger pattern. Supermassive black holes are now understood not as anomalies, but as structural elements. They are woven into the formation and long-term behavior of galaxies themselves. Where galaxies are large and mature, a central mass is often present. This relationship did not form by chance. As galaxies evolved, matter flowed inward and outward over immense spans of time. Gas condensed into stars. Stars moved, aged, and redistributed mass. Gradually, central regions became denser, shaping the motion of everything around them. Sagittarius exists within this context. It does not dominate the galaxy alone. It does not act as a single controlling force. Instead, it contributes to an overall gravitational framework that allows the galaxy to remain coherent. Structure in space emerges when motion has a reference. Without a shared center, large systems tend to spread and thin. Paths drift, patterns dissolve. A concentrated mass provides a point around which order can form. Not rigid order, but flexible stability. The kind that allows motion without fragmentation. Sagittarius fulfills this role quietly. Its presence helps define the inner shape of the Milky Way. It contributes to how stars distribute themselves near the center. It influences how gas settles into patterns rather than dispersing randomly. This influence is subtle. It does not command. It does not enforce. It simply exists as a constant condition. The idea of black holes as destructive forces comes from focusing on extreme proximity. Very near the center, conditions are indeed intense, but those regions are small. On galactic scales, black holes function differently. They act less like consumers and more like stabilizers. they participate in maintaining long-term structure. This is why galaxies with central black holes can remain intact for billions of years. Spiral arms persist. Disks rotate smoothly. Patterns repeat. Sagittarius has been part of the Milky Way throughout its long history. During that time, the galaxy has grown, evolved, and maintained its form. This continuity would not be possible if the center were disruptive. Instead, Sagittarius contributes to balance. It is one element in a layered system, where no single component overwhelms the others. Stars, gas, dust, and dark matter all play roles. Sagittarius provides density at the core, not domination. This perspective changes how black holes are understood. They are not endpoints. They are not failures of structure. They are part of the architecture. Like foundations in a building, they are not seen in daily experience, but they support the shape of what exists above them. They do not move. They do not announce themselves. They hold. In this sense, Sagittarius is less an object and more a condition, a steady center around which complexity can unfold, a background presence that allows motion to organize rather than scatter. Nothing about this role requires activity. Nothing requires growth or consumption. Stability alone is sufficient. The Milky Way does not depend on Sagittarius doing something. It depends on Sagittarius being there, and it has been. Through eras of star formation and quiet, through changes in the galaxy's shape, through time spans too large to feel, Sagittarius has remained, contributing silently to the structure of a system far larger than itself. Understanding black holes this way replaces fear with context. They are not intruders in the universe. They are part of how large systems persist. Structure emerges. Motion settles. Patterns endure. And at the center of many galaxies, including our own, something like Sagittarius remains quietly present, holding space rather than taking it. Scale has a way of softening emotion. When something is imagined up close, it can feel intense. Edges sharpen. Details press forward. The mind tries to respond quickly. But as scale increases, urgency fades. Sagittarius exists on a scale so large that ordinary emotional responses lose their footing. Distance stretches perception. Time expands. Events slow until they no longer feel like events at all. This is not because Sagittarius becomes less powerful. It is because power, when spread across immense scale, becomes diffuse. It no longer concentrates attention. It settles into background structure. At human scales, change feels immediate. A sound startles. A movement draws focus. Cause and effect appear tightly linked. At galactic scales, cause and effect are separated by distance and time. By the time any influence is felt, it has already softened. Edges blur, transitions smooth. This is why large structures in the universe often feel calming rather than threatening when fully understood. They do not rush. They do not react to observation. They persist regardless of attention. Sagittarius benefits from this perspective. When thought of as a black hole, the image can feel sharp. But when placed within the scale of the Milky Way, it becomes contextual. One component among many. One influence layered within a much larger system. The galaxy itself acts as a buffer. Between Sagittarius and the solar system lie tens of thousands of light years of space. Between any change and its effect lies time enough for adjustment. Between mass and motion lies balance. Scale introduces patience. Large systems do not respond quickly because they cannot. Their inertia is too great, their motion too distributed. This inertia is not resistance. It is stability. Sagittarius has existed for billions of years without sudden transformation. During that time, stars have orbited, gas has shifted, the galaxy has rotated. Nothing about this process demands emotional urgency. The sheer size of the system ensures that changes unfold gradually. Gradual change allows equilibrium to be maintained. It prevents shock. It prevents collapse. This is why scale often brings comfort once it is understood. When something is vast enough, it cannot surprise. Surprise requires immediacy. Immediacy disappears at large distances. Sagittarius cannot suddenly appear closer. It cannot abruptly alter its role. Any meaningful change would take longer than recorded history to become noticeable. This knowledge reshapes emotional response. Fear relies on proximity and speed. Remove those and fear dissolves. What remains is awareness without tension. Scale also alters perspective on significance. Sagittarius is massive, yet it occupies a tiny region relative to the galaxy. The galaxy itself is vast, yet one among billions. This layering places everything into proportion. Nothing stands alone. Nothing dominates absolutely. Influence is shared and moderated. When the mind rests within this perspective, emotional intensity naturally lowers. Attention broadens. Details soften. Concern fades. There is no single focal point demanding response. Everything becomes part of a continuum. Sagittarius is not approaching. The galaxy is not accelerating toward an outcome. Motion continues as it always has. Scale turns motion into pattern. Patterns are easier to accept than events. They do not require reaction. They invite observation. This is why long-term processes feel calmer than sudden ones. They allow time for understanding to settle before emotion can escalate. The Milky Way operates entirely within this long-term mode. Sagittarius sits comfortably inside it. Nothing about its existence disrupts the rhythm of the system. Its influence is steady, its role consistent. Scale ensures that even immense mass becomes quiet when placed within sufficient context. From far enough away, even the most powerful structures blend into the background of motion. They stop demanding attention and begin offering perspective. Perspective reduces emotional sharpness. It replaces urgency with continuity. Sagittarius benefits from this, not because it is distant, but because distance allows understanding to mature. When something is fully contextualized, it no longer threatens the imagination. It becomes part of a larger whole, and within that whole, there is room to rest. Scale widens the frame. The widened frame softens response. The softened response allows calm. Sagittarius remains where it has always been, embedded within distances and times so large that emotion has nothing to grasp onto. Nothing is pressing inward. Nothing is racing forward. only scale stretching perception outward until intensity fades and what remains is quiet structure, continuing without demand. Much of what happens in the universe happens without attention. Processes continue whether they are observed or not. Motion unfolds without pause. Patterns persist without acknowledgement. Sagittarius exists within this quiet continuity. At the center of the Milky Way, it does not wait to be noticed. It does not respond to observation. Its presence is not altered by understanding. Stars continue their orbits, whether anyone tracks them. Gas drifts along its paths, whether instruments are listening. The galaxy turns without regard for perspective. This indifference is not coldness. It is stability. Large systems do not require supervision. Once balance is established, motion sustains itself. Energy flows along predictable routes. Change, when it occurs, does so gradually. Sagittarius has been part of this self-sustaining system for billions of years. During that time, it has neither demanded attention nor required intervention. Its role is passive but essential. It provides a reference point, a center around which motion can organize. That organization does not need to be reinforced. It does not weaken when unobserved. It does not decay when ignored. This is one of the quiet strengths of gravitational systems. They do not rely on constant input. They persist through inertia and balance. When astronomers study Sagittarius, they are not watching something happen. They are confirming that something continues. The same orbits, the same distances, the same relationships. Years pass between observations. Decades of data line up without contradiction. Nothing deviates sharply enough to demand explanation. This continuity is reassuring. In a universe capable of dramatic events, most of existence is remarkably calm. Stars spend most of their lives stable. Galaxies spend most of their histories rotating smoothly. Black holes spend most of their time doing very little. Sagittarius exemplifies this quiet majority. It does not flare. It does not erupt. It does not transform. It remains. Remaining is often overlooked as a form of activity. But in large systems, remaining is the outcome of balance successfully maintained. If Sagittarius were unstable, motion around it would reflect that instability. Paths would shift, patterns would break, energy would release unevenly. None of this is observed. Instead, everything continues in familiar ways. The same structures persist, the same relationships hold. This persistence is not accidental. It is the result of physical laws operating consistently over immense spans of time. Nothing needs to be corrected because nothing is drifting out of balance. Sagittarius does not require ongoing adjustment. Its mass does not fluctuate. Its position does not wander. Because of this, the galaxy does not need to respond. It simply continues doing what it has already settled into. There is something calming about processes that do not depend on attention. They remove pressure. They remove expectation. The universe does not need to be watched to function properly. Sagittarius does not change when unobserved. It does not become more active. It does not lose coherence. It remains part of a system that has already found its shape. This ongoing, unattended continuity is what allows large structures to endure. It prevents constant reorganization. It minimizes disruption. Over time, this stability compounds. Each completed orbit reinforces the next. Each year that passes without change strengthens the pattern. Sagittarius has completed this cycle countless times. Long before instruments existed, long before observation was possible, its presence was steady then, just as it is now. Understanding this shifts focus away from event and toward persistence, away from moment and toward duration. Nothing is building toward a climax. Nothing is approaching resolution. There is only continuation. Stars continue to move. Gravity continues to shape motion. The galaxy continues to turn. Sagittarius remains where it has always been, not because it is fixed by effort, but because balance holds it there naturally. This kind of persistence does not require energy. It does not require intention. It simply unfolds. And in that unfolding, there is no urgency, no demand, no need for attention. Only systems continuing quietly, whether anyone is watching or not. Nothing here needs to change. Sagittarius exists within a system that has already found its balance. Motion continues because it is supported, not because it is driven. Stability persists because opposing forces have settled into agreement. This kind of balance does not require constant effort. In large systems, once equilibrium is reached, very little energy is needed to maintain it. Paths repeat. Relationships hold. Structure sustains itself through consistency rather than control. Sagittarius reflects this state clearly. Its mass remains steady. Its surroundings remain organized. The galaxy continues its slow rotation without interruption. There is no need for correction. Gravity does not need to adjust itself moment by moment. It does not need to compensate for instability. The forces involved are already aligned. This is why the inner regions of the Milky Way do not show signs of strain. Orbits remain smooth. Distances remain predictable. Patterns repeat without deviation. Quiet continuity is not the absence of motion. It is motion that no longer needs to be negotiated. Sagittarius does not act to maintain balance. Balance exists because the system has matured into it. What remains is persistence. Over billions of years, small irregularities have been absorbed. Unstable paths have shifted or faded. What continues now is what works. This filtering process happens naturally in all long-lived systems. What cannot persist does not. What remains does so quietly. The result is a structure that feels calm when observed, even though it is composed of constant motion. Nothing presses outward. Nothing collapses inward. The system holds. From Earth, this manifests as reliability. The night sky remains familiar. The galaxy's shape does not distort. The center remains distant and unchanged. This reliability allows attention to soften. When nothing requires intervention, nothing needs to be anticipated. Concern dissolves because there is no instability to respond to. Sagittarius does not signal change. It does not suggest an outcome. It does not indicate a direction forward or back. It simply remains within the pattern that has already formed. Quiet continuity like this is easy to overlook because it does not announce itself. But it is the dominant state of the universe. Most systems, once settled, spend the majority of their existence this way. Sagittarius is no exception. Its continued presence does not require action. It does not depend on consumption. It does not rely on growth. The system has enough mass, enough motion, enough distance. Everything needed for stability is already present. And so, nothing is demanded of the future. No adjustment is necessary. No resolution is approaching. The galaxy turns as it always has. Stars trace their familiar paths. Sagittarius remains where it is. Quiet continuity persists, not because it is maintained, but because it no longer needs to be. Sagittarius remains. At the center of the Milky Way, it continues to occupy the same quiet position it has held for billions of years. Not advancing, not retreating, simply present. Nothing about its existence requires conclusion. The galaxy does not move toward an endpoint. Its rotation does not build toward resolution. Motion continues because it always has, guided by balance rather than intention. Stars complete their orbits and begin them again. Gas drifts along established paths. Distances remain steady. Sagittarius does not mark a finish. It does not represent an outcome. It is part of a system that persists without narrative. This persistence is what gives the galaxy its calm character. Large structures do not hurry. They do not react to observation. They are not altered by awareness. Sagittarius exists whether it is named or not, whether it is studied or ignored. Its presence is independent of attention. This independence allows everything else to settle. When a system does not require monitoring, it releases pressure. There is nothing to anticipate, nothing to wait for, only continuation. The Milky Way has turned this way for longer than memory can hold. It will continue turning long after individual moments have passed. Sagittarius will remain at its center through it all. Not because it is fixed by force, but because balance holds it there naturally. Nothing about this arrangement is fragile. It has endured through immense spans of time. It has absorbed change without losing form. Understanding this does not add urgency. It removes it. There is no need to imagine movement toward or away. No need to measure progress. The system is already complete in its motion. Sagittarius does not conclude the story of the galaxy. It does not begin it either. It simply exists within it, a steady center in a rotating whole, a reference point that does not demand focus. As the galaxy continues, Sagittarius remains what it has always been, unchanged, unconcerned, present. And with that presence, everything else is allowed to continue quietly, without instruction, without correction, without end.